Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today, on the bench, we have this dingy old Bundy clarinet. In the shop, we like to call these barn finds. So, as you can see, it's pretty lackluster. The nickel plating is just gross looking and oxidized, so we're gonna take care of all that here in a second. Now we're gonna just take her apart. You can see I'm doing this at Mach speed. Didn't want to bore anyone having a 2-hour long video, but here we are, just taking everything off, making sure that everything has its own little space. I like to keep the threaded rods and screws for each joint there separate, just to make things easier on myself. Now I will begin to take all the pads out, and as you can see here, the video gets a little blurry. It didn't autofocus like it should have, but basically all I'm doing is taking a razor blade to all of those old corks and taking all that off, making sure we start from scratch here. We want this to be really nice. Yep, here we are on to the fun part. I'm just buffing all these keys. As you can see, we want to take all that gray, gross looking nickel back up to its proper shine. So that's what we're doing here. I didn't film the entire clarinet's worth of keys. Figured that'd be a little overkill. I did do one joint, the top joint. And you'll see here in a second, I do a little before and after. I know people like those. So, I believe it's coming up here. Yep. Before and after. You can see it's a lot shinier, looks a lot better. So, next I'm just going to be taking every single key that I buffed, and I'm going to be wiping off all of that residual buffing compound with a little bit of spray away and a clean rag. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm applying contact cement to new cork, and all the places where I need cork to be, I just brush on a little bit of contact cement. It's pretty simple. Need to wait a little while for that to become not tacky anymore for a proper adhesion. So now I'm basically just putting the two pieces together. Everywhere there needs to be cork, I make sure that the two contact cemented parts are together. And at this point, I'm making sure that everything's trimmed nice and neat. And you'll see here in a second that I actually take a nail file just to smooth all those edges, make sure that nothing is really jagged. Just really a cosmetic thing, but it makes a difference. I like when things look good, and presentation is everything. Aside from having a working clarinet, we want it to look nice. I do know some band directors actually will dock points if the instrument is not properly maintained. So anyway, here we are, just using that nail file, just kind of sanding every edge smooth. Everything's looking good at this point. So now's time to put the pads in. I'm just using my big old clunky hot glue gun. We're putting all these Valentino pads in. I really like these Valentinos. I feel like they last a lot longer and they seat a lot better. So now I'm taking all the Tenon corks off. We're going to replace those. Some Tenon corks can be kind of relentless. They don't want to come off, so I am using a little bit of greeny love. So now I'm going to go in and buff all the posts, being very mindful of the springs there. We don't want to bust any of those off. They were all in really good shape. And this is the most tedious part, but the most satisfying part is just getting everything buffed, get everything clean. Here I'm just taking a soft brush and some soap, just making sure I scrub all the gross dead skin cells and everything out of the tone holes and everything else. Oh, ran out of battery on my drill. There we go. It's nice to get a good clean clarinet going, that you get kind of a blank slate here. So now I'm just hitting it with air, making sure everything's dry. I don't want any water spots on anything. So as you can see, all the tone holes are squeaky clean. Hey, we are good to go. So next we're going to be doing those tenon corks at our cork station here. Measuring and cutting our tenon corks, and then I'm gonna sand down one side to make it a really nice, almost invisible transition where the two ends of the cork meet. We don't want it to be a hard cut there. So now I'm just putting contact cement on both the cork and the oh, my camera fell there. Yep, and basically, you know, as you would have expected, I'm putting the cork on there. Now we need to sand it down to size. And sanding really helps with getting that edge to disappear as well, that transition between the two ends of the cork. All the particles are off. This is really messy stuff. If you've ever worked with cork sanding or anything like that, this stuff just gets everywhere. So it's important to do this dry first off, and two, just hit it with air, because it just sticks to anything and everything. And in between, you know, I'm doing small increments, so in between all of that, you don't want to go too far. So now it's time for reassembly. I'm making sure everything is very well oiled. Even if I go a little overboard with the oiling, it's okay. I can always wipe that up. You know, we don't want to have too less oil. That would lead to problems down the road. Okay, now what I'm doing is basically I'm just taking a soldering gun and I'm heating those pads up just ever so slightly, just to let those pads kind of sit where they naturally want to. This helps a lot when you're putting new pads in, and I'm just being mindful of any excess glue that comes out. I want to make sure to wipe that away or pick it away, however I do that. It just makes things a lot easier. So now I'm pulling out my wood wedges, closing all of the keys, and we're going to leave it for a day. And what that does is just make sure everything's seated very well. Okay, so now we're moving on to the case. This thing needs a new handle bad. As you could see, it was held together by a strap, or a zip tie, I should say. So I'm trying different things, but what ended up working was just classic screwdriver. Now I'm drilling holes for the new handle, and I'm gonna pound some rivets in there. Sorry, excuse me. So now we got the new handle in. Those banana rivets are pretty gnarly, so I end up going in with with the Dremel and just kind of grinding those down. Next, I'm gonna throw some fabric desanitizer in there, blow it out. Classic. Gotta have the reed and the cork grease. Now I'm just putting some remover on this spray paint. Wishful thinking that it's gonna work, but turns out I'm gonna have to go with the nuclear option, which is paint thinner. It is unfortunate, but to get that off, you know, we do what we gotta do. Ends up doing the job. Got some remover for its actual purpose, you know, removing that adhesive. Though Scotch tape is so terrible on cases, people, and even worse on instruments. Once it's on, it hardly ever comes off. So now I'm just putting some case polish on there. All right, this is the next day. Came back to our Clarinet, and we're taking all the clips off, and we're putting a leak light in there and just checking everything out, doing our suck and blow test, and finally the end of the road is here. We're just gonna put everything together. I noticed that my cork is too thick here, so I trimmed that down a little bit. And we should be good to go here. A little bit of play test. I am a terrible clarinet player, otherwise I would have let you guys hear that, but I don't want to torture anyone. Didn't expect that transition, huh? All right, so we are good to go. I'm giving everything a good final wipe down. I'll go once over with the microfiber here, and then I'll come in with a polishing cloth and just make everything look as good as possible. And since they didn't have a mouthpiece, they are getting one. Grease it up nice. And that's it. This one is finally done. If you made it this far in the video, I surely appreciate you. And if you want to like and subscribe, that would be dope. Yeah, till next time, I'm going to have lots of content for you guys. So thank you.